Hey everybody, so we get a lot of questions about packing up our starter for traveling, and we're just about to do that, so we thought we'd take a video to show how it goes. So this is our starter in all its glory. It's been in the fridge for a few days after we finish our last set of classes. So the first thing you need to do is feed it, because traveling with your starter is a lot like leaving it out on the counter. It's going to be room temperature, it's going to be out, so it needs to be fed just like you're going to be using it later. And that way it's going to have enough energy to survive however long the travel is. And we've taken the starter almost as far as you can go. I've traveled with it over 40 hours before, between packing it up like this and then getting to the destination and feeding it. And it's fine. It's just kind of it's overactive at that point. It needs fed. Might need to feed it once or twice if it's a really long trip to get it back to being healthy, but we've never had a problem with the starter not like surviving the travel. So first thing to do is to feed it. So we're just gonna do a normal feeding. I have my flour here I've been feeding it with. I am gonna do kind of a light feeding on it because we don't need a lot of starter. We just wanna give it a little extra food. And then I'm gonna get a little water. Make sure it's not hot, because we definitely don't want to speed up any of the activity. So just a little bit of flour, a little bit of water. After you get the hang of feeding a starter, you really don't worry about the weighing anymore. It's just you try to get that batter consistency. All right, there we go. So then we're gonna fill them in our containers. So these are travel like toiletry containers. So this is something you'd put like shampoo or lotion in or something. So they're food safe, they're silicone. And they also just go, if you're flying with this stuff, and then you just put it in with your toiletries and put it in with the liquids through the scanners, and it just looks like any kind of cream or lotion. We've never had any problems with that. The key though is it's a little bit messy. So you're gonna fill it up, and these are your new starter containers for traveling. So you're not gonna fill it up all the way. You know what, I'm actually gonna make this a little more liquid just so I can get it in the container a little easier. Another good example of how the proportion, it's not really critical to always have it be exactly the same proportion. Can go a little bit more liquid, a little bit more solid. Doesn't really make a big difference. Okay, great, that'll pour a little bit better. So I'm gonna pour this in. It's a messy process, so do it over your sink. I'm gonna fill it up maybe halfway. And that way it'll give the container room to expand. These silicone bottles are nice because I'll show you in a second, you can kind of squeeze them to get any air out. If you don't have a silicone one, you just have like a old shampoo bottle or something, that's fine too. The one thing I like to do is, so this is just like if your starter was out, it's gonna start expanding and growing. So you don't want it to pop in your bag. So I'm gonna squeeze all the air out of this. So I'm gonna get all the way to the top and then flip that lid. And then this, see how it's like squished in there? So this at least gives it that ability to expand that much. After that 40-hour trip, these guys were pretty expanded. They looked full. They kind of looked slightly inflated. It was definitely like pressure, but it was fine the whole time. So we'll do this for both bottles just to give us a decent amount when we get there. And then the other important thing is when you arrive at your destination, your starter's it's just like a person. It's hungry, it's tired, it needs energy. So it's really good if you can either bring a little bit of flour with you. Like I'm gonna bring the rest of this little bag of flour we have and feed it when we get there, or just try as soon as you can to go to a store and get some flour to feed it with just to get it back in action. But otherwise, that's all there is to it. We have this bag, just in case anybody asks what it is. It's Sourdough Starter, but we never had any problems in any of the places we've traveled. And we've even checked the restricted lists for places like islands where there's rules about things you can take in and out. And yeast and things like that has always been excluded from any restrictions. So we've never had problems with that. But we always check whenever we go places. So there you go. Happy traveling.